welcome to our final part of this sexuality discussion, and pretty much I'm going to list. We're both going to list the places where gay marriage is legal. Same-sex marriage, yes. Okay, so the countries where it is legal are Nepal, Belgium, Iceland, the Netherlands, Argentina, Canada, Norway, Portugal, South Africa, Spain, Sweden, and Mexico City in Mexico. And the states in the United States would be Connecticut, Iowa, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Vermont, and well, Washington D.C. is an actual state, but it's legal in Washington D.C. Right. Okay. So, Bianca.
I hope New York gets added to that list. I really do. I think New York is very metro, very retro, very intellectual. And there's no reason why we shouldn't be on that list. I mean, come on, guys. This is not like some small town. We don't know anything about anything.
Exactly.
We're very cultured people here, I would like to believe. And I hope that we can see past that. Now, in other countries and in other states, they're not able to have same-sex marriages, but they do have other types of civil unions or something like a civil union. You can be bound together, legal bondage without being called marriage. In Australia, Brazil, Colombia, Croatia, Finland, France, Germany, Israel, Switzerland, UK, Hungary, New Zealand, and Ireland. In the States, they have civil unions, that's what we call them here, in California, Hawaii, Wisconsin, Maine, New Jersey, um, Oregon, Rhode Island, and I want to say Nevada, but you guys can correct me on that if you want to, but I believe it is Nevada. So that is what's going on in this world. Tragic. That is that petty. We're gonna wrap it up, guys. This is probably one of our longest segments. It's a very sensitive issue and very controversial issue. So please, we really would love you guys' feedback. But I would definitely like to close by saying, whether you have religious oppositions, political, family, medical, whatever your opposition is about why same-sex marriages should be banned or whatever, I really want you to ask yourself, what does what your religion is have to do with what the law of this country is? Because if it is about what your religion says marriage is, then it means anybody who is not your religion should not be allowed to get married in this country. And that's not what this country is about. Every last single person in this country has the right to pursue happiness. That's it. That's all it is. They have the right to pursue happiness. Now, whether you decide what happiness is, that is not your place because their rights begin where yours end. But I would also like to say, Edward Westermark wrote a book called History of Human Marriage, and he said marriage is the relation of one or more men to one or more women that is recognized as a custom or law and involves certain rights and duties that somehow have children come out in the outcome. That was in 1922. Before the Civil War, African Americans were not allowed to get married. After the Civil War, we were, but it wasn't until 1966 that we were actually allowed to marry people who weren't African American. And I feel like if we can change that much, then we need to change this. It's not that serious, guys. It's really not. And if you guys feel like there is constitutionally grounds for banning two people from getting married, I would like for you to go home and ask everyone on your floor, on your block, or your friends, everyone you know. And I want you to take a piece of paper and I want you to ask them to define what is a marriage. And I can promise you that every last single person you ask will give you a different answer on what defines what a marriage is. And so if we cannot find a unified definition of what marriage is, then we cannot find a constitutional right to tell two people they're not out to get married when we can't even decide what the heck it is. So people, wake up, because it's going to happen whether you like it or not. They're not going to stop being gay, lesbian, bisexual, transsexual because you don't want them to get married. It's not going to stop. They're going to still be together and they're going to still fight for their rights. So you can either be there at our party or not be at the party. It's up to you.
Well said. And one more thing I want to add is that these same arguments, like she mentioned about, African Americans not being able to marry whites or the other African Americans at one point, same arguments that are being used to oppose gay marriage, religious or otherwise, have been used to oppose, um,
Yeah.
marriage between different racial groups.
1812, me and Terrence couldn't get married
Yeah,
for all these same reasons right here. We would have affected education, we would have affected health, we would have affected religion, we would have affected family, we would have affected so many things for the exact same reason. So are we going to keep using the same excuse?
right. So that's pretty much what we have to say about sexuality. And I hope you've learned something. I hope you've enjoyed this experience. And if you have any opposition, whether you agree or disagree, I want to hear your opinion. So if you want to drop a comment, any of these parts, you could drop a comment, or you can go to facebook.com/TK24life. Could you pass me that, please? Oh, my notebook isn't there. So yeah, just remember TK24Life, pretty much Facebook.com, and pretty much right on the wall. We're going to discuss it on the discussion board, and we just want to hear from you. And if you have any other ideas or anything else you want to cover, whether it's this topic or something else, just write me on Facebook.com/TK24Life and let us know. So thank you for joining us, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye, guys.